It's Wednesday evening, everybody. Been a long day. Anyway, so you can see my tree. Yes, it's still up. It'll be down this weekend. But as long as it's up, I'm going to light it. It's pathetic to have a tree that's decorated that you don't turn the lights on. Okay, enough of me. So, I'm going to name 3 things. Number 1, God. Number 2, Saint Anthony of Padua. And number 3, no coincidences. Okay. So, first, God. Well, I'm going to do 2, God and no coincidences. Okay, so first, there are no accidents. I don't believe anyway. And Einstein shared the belief because Einstein, I believe, said that accidents or coincidences allow God to remain anonymous. So I think God works in our life in so many different ways that we don't pay attention to. Okay, so that's number 1 and 2. Number 3, Saint Anthony. Okay, so I work in the office and my general hours are Monday through Friday, though you will see me other times. But when I'm in the office, my primary job is not answering phones, but all of us in the office answer our parish phone. We get busy, or Eric will say, will you man the phone, or whatever. So I do pick up, and that's true of Brett and everybody probably then, other than Father Bill. Okay. And I know Nick does, and I know Pat does. So all of us kind of pick up the phone. But what is amazing to me is how many times when I do, that call was destined for me. So I'm going to tell you a story of a woman who called around Thanksgiving time. And she was calling about, she asked basically a question, do we have lost and found? And I told her, yes, we do. And she said, if somebody had turned in something that was expensive or costly or important or like jewelry, would they turn it in? I said, when people find things, generally what happens is it gets put into lost and found. Maybe if a volunteer or somebody picked it up, they would recognize value and turn it into the office, but that generally doesn't happen. Anyway, she had lost her wedding jewelry. So she had a little pouch of items that she couldn't find anywhere. And she had gone to Mass at Holy Trinity on Thanksgiving the year before, okay? And she thought about it and decided to call and ask. And I went over and looked, but there was nothing there. And we had just done the clean out of our lost and found, which we do every now and again. So I didn't think that we'd find it there. Anyway, I could hear in her voice, she was forlorn, she was sad, she was worried about the jewelry, all that went with that. So I asked her a question. I said, have you asked St. Anthony for help? She said, what? And I said, St. Anthony is the patron saint of lost things. I said, and I'm a firm believer. I said, I know how this sounds to you, but I have to tell you, whenever something really important or really precious is lost and I can't find it, I pray and ask for his help. And we just sort of ended the call. I mean, she thanked me and, thanked me for checking and all of that, and then got off the phone. So again, remember, coincidence and St. Anthony. So 20 minutes later, phone call comes in. Who answers the phone? So again, no accident, I don't think. And it's the same young woman. And she called me and she said, I had to call you back. I'm so glad you answered the phone. She said, I did what you said. I got on the internet, she said, and I looked up St. Anthony and I asked for his help. And she said, I found my jewelry. She found it in a weird place that she uses every day, like a desk or something. And it was in a weird spot she couldn't believe it. And she called back to tell me, thanks be to God. How awesome is that? Brett and I even talked about it. I was just kind of overjoyed for her and just grateful to St. Anthony. What a saint that he could come through like that. Thanks be to God. So again, God places things in front of us every single day, seemingly small. But I can't tell you, not only did that help her, it sure helped me to have the assurance that I have a saint who has my back, because he does. Thanks be to God. So when you need some assurance that God is listening and working in your life, just ask him to show you, because he will. Anyway, thanks be to God for worthy work, for all that we do in our life that God places in our worthy hands. Have a great rest of your day or the rest of the week, and I will see you at Mass this weekend. Thanks be to God.